Hey Techno Studs, there is a visual way of being able to subnet. So we're going to take a look at a table that's going to help us visually break things down a little differently. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. It's something that I introduced towards the end because you don't want to rely on it. If you're going to take a certification test, you're not going to be able to have any notes or use anything like this when you go into there. But when you're out there in the field and you want to quickly reference something, it is pretty nice to have some sort of visualization chart to do just that. So let's take a look at a table visualization chart of all our different networks. So this is a visualization chart that really can help us accelerate our process of going through this, or at the very least, this could be just something that we could use to double check our answers. So what does this look like? Well, number one, this is not the full sheet. So you'd probably want to go and download this sheet. You could just do a Google search for it, or you could use one of my resources by getting onto either my courseware or through one of my website or down in the description below. But I will have I'll have this accessible that you can access. All right, so what we have across the top is how many bits that we're borrowing. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I didn't include 8 because that's just 255 and everything is individual and it didn't really fit very well on here. So even this 7 doesn't fit very well on here. You could use this for any octet, the second, third, or fourth octet. This would still help you visualize how to break down those individual networks. So we can also see what is our subnet mask going to be. So 0, if we're going to borrow a bit, that's 128, 192, 224, 240, 248, 252, 254. What happens is we have the full range of that octet. It's 0 to 255. So that's the full range of the octet. If you borrow a bit, then it splits it into two ranges, 0 through 127, and if you were to be able to see it, it would have 128 through 255. And then notice that the 0 through 127, if we were to split that again, we would be able to split it into 0 through 63 and 64 through 127. If we were able to split that again, we'd have 0 through 31, and this is actually supposed to be a 32 through 63. That's already corrected on the actual worksheet. I just haven't updated this sheet yet. And then we've got 64 through 195 and 96 through 127. You can see every time we break this down further, when we borrow another bit, all it's doing is it's dividing these into more networks. Each one of these is the network range. And then you can break it down even further. And then you can break it down even further and then even further. So far where we can't really even see what those numbers are. So this is a way to quickly visualization. How you would use this is, and let me get some of these marks off the thing here. Let's say I want to have 8 networks. I want 8 networks to be available to me. Well, here's where I'd see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The rest of them the rest of the 4 are down below. So I would want to borrow 3 bits. There would be my 224 would be the subnet mask for that. And then I would have how it's all split up. So now I can quickly jump to my answers. I know that the first one here in the range is the network, the last one is the broadcast, and anything in between is going to be a simple calculation to figure out what the usable range is. So this is a quick way to be able to see and visualize all the different networks and how it gets broken apart every time we borrow another bit. Here's one more example of that. So we have a 192.168.0. something, and what we can do is we need 4 subnets. If I need 4 subnets, here's 1, 2, and then 3 and 4 down below. So I want to borrow 2 bits, so I'll borrow 2 bits. The address class is a C. I can do a 255.255.255.0. Next, the custom subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.192. So, and then total number of subnets, I've got there's going to be 4 there. I can just count how many there is. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Total number of hosts. So for each of those networks, there's going to be 0 through 63. So total there is 64. Usable hosts is going to be just 62 per host. So there we have it. And then for the rest of it though, now I've got my range. And so I know what the network address is, the broadcast, and everything in between.